time to make it one. If you do not know me, this is your girl Shy. Okay, I am starting off with a new 5-part series for 2026. And the ministry focus this year is the whole woman. So I got to talk about myself first before I ask you to talk about yourself, okay? So within this 5-part series, I'm going to be talking about myself, sharing other things, and speaking from how the experiences we have as women, how it impacts us, how it affects us, and how it allows us to be who we are and who the world sees, right? So within this 5-part series today, starting with the whole woman, and to start off with the whole woman, let's just talk about being a woman, not the titles that we have, not the things that we're responsible for, but let's just talk about being a woman. Okay, so if you want to learn more about me, which I suggest you do, go to my website, which is also in the bottom of this video, shariawright.com. I also want to share just some things that are coming up for this year that are already in the works. So I just need you to be a part of it, right? Either to be a part, and I'm heavy on the share it this year, because even if it is not something for you, trust me, it is for someone that you are connected with or someone that you cross paths with. So, our monthly virtual connects, those will be coming back this year. Candid Conversations, this is episode 1 of the new year. And I want to talk briefly about the Blossom Effect and the Blossom Collective. Okay. And so, the Blossom Effect is built for women who want to deepen their walk with God while stepping into a stronger, more empowered version of themselves. Okay. It is a group mentoring program. And the Blossom Collective is for women that are emergent in ministry and those that are emerging into ministry. Okay. So if you're like, I've been doing this ministry thing, but I need to revamp. I really don't have the support or guidance that been looking for, been needing. That Blossom Collective would be for you. And if you are just like, I just need to get my personal life as a woman back into alignment, the Blossom Effect is for you. So you can definitely go to my website and get more details there. Hello everyone. I want to invite you. I was like, let's get creative. We are doing the Healing for Her Ministry is going to be doing a Bible plan. So most people have the Bible app, right? So I want you to join us on that. It's a 5-day plan, and we're going to start that in about 10 days or so in February. And the purpose is cultivating community and connection. And in addition to that, cultivating community and connection, it's for us to continue to learn how to grow and bond as women and do this ministry thing together. And when I say ministry, I'm not saying like if you're in ministry, but just your focus is to grow a relationship with God. You want to grow and deepen your relationship with God. Sometimes it's hard to do it by yourself. Sometimes you're like, am I even on track? So, community, 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 building community and connection. So, within the plan, at the end, you can go ahead and put your notes, share your viewpoint, and connect with other women that would show up. So, it's open up to any woman. Okay. All you have to do is join in. And Cry Out this year will be virtual. For a minute, I got away from doing virtual because for a minute, everything we did was virtual. So if you were at Cry Out last year, this year, we're doing it virtual. And Cry Out is a prayer and worship service. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. So, right now, let's have a conversation about the whole woman. So, myself, just to give a quick background. Okay, so yes, majority of the things that you see about me is going to be ministry and marketplace. Um, but I, me as a woman, when it comes to ministry and marketplace. Okay, my upbringing was not the best, but at the same time, it was the best because it allows me to be who I am today, of course, with the help of Jesus. So, for anyone that is stuck right now in your your right now, your past, you're thinking, um, you know, you're judging yourself from where you are now. And you're saying, well, how could this be? Or, I don't see myself anywhere or doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing. I understand that people have their own opinion, but he was not letting other people say their opinion. But I love Jesus. Amen. I love him too. Um, so, talking about the whole woman. Okay. All the titles that we have. Um, we have responsibilities as a single woman. We have responsibilities as a woman in relationship. We have responsibilities as women that are married. We have responsibilities in our careers. We have responsibilities, all of the things. But at the end of the day, when you wake up and you go to bed at night, who are you? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? How are you nurturing yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? And so, in just talking to God about, what the focus should be this year for ministry, that was the question. And oftentimes, no matter what you're doing, we can lose ourselves. We can lose ourselves because we're grinding, we're focused on, whatever goals have to be made and all of the things. And so, for myself, you know, for myself, where I am now, fake mad, meaning like I'm not mad, I'm not holding grudges or anything like that. But it's so many things that I realized as a woman that women as I was growing up never talked about. And that's from our health, how our bodies change, how our desires change, um, how you have these moments where like midlife crisis, when you it's just all of these things, and it was never talked about. In my family there's a lot of women. We have a lot of women, okay? And the older I am getting, I'm just like, nobody talked to me about this. And so now I'm searching and discovering, well, what do I like? What do I want to do? Who am I as a woman? And within the last few years, what I've learned to be very vocal about is I am who I am. Okay. I have some quirks about me that I love. Um, I like very different things. I'm not in a box. So I will try and be adventurous, but at the same time, there's just certain things about me. There's a rhythm in the pattern that I'm going to follow. As a woman, um, I've discovered some things recently that I've dealt with, and then things that I'm like, okay, let's work with that. And so one of the biggest things that hit me hard, I was in a training, and it's like one of those things you take, you do this test. It wasn't a personality test, but it's to see different things about yourself. And it said that I was a people pleaser. And I'm like, I don't agree with that because to know me is to know what you got going on and what you thinking ain't none of my business. And I'm gonna do what I need to do. Like, and I that's the way that I only looked at people pleasing. And um somebody gave me a different perspective. People pleasing could mean always showing up for people, like overexerting yourself. Um, and I was like, wow. I didn't think, because I thought that was a negative thing. But then you can do it in other capacities. And two of the biggest lessons that I did learn, and I am sticking to it, um, is I'm going to do what works best for me. If what I'm doing don't work with what you have going on, it is okay. No love lost. Nobody is mad. um because in overextending myself or trying to be in multiple places at the same time, you know what we do? Okay, well, you go over there, I'll start here, I'll circle back over there in 3 hours. Driving 2 and 3 hours to go from one place to get to another place, just all of the things. And when I look back at it, my heart was pure. Like I wanted to show up, I wanted to do all these things, but it also was very taxing. It was extremely taxing on my body, on my mind. And so learning that about myself was an eye opener and very necessary, because it also, now that I'm aware, can shield me and protect me or keep me from unnecessary hurts and pains, because I'm showing up and extending myself, which in actuality, I'm overextending myself, and it's not being respected, appreciated, um, on a very small scale, reciprocated. So those different things. And so again, I said often, it is very important to do self-assessments, just to see where you're at in your everyday daily life. It is important to spend time with yourself. I love spending time with myself. Spending time with myself actually, it refreshes me. It, like, being around a lot of people and doing a lot of things, it literally drains me. Not even me trying to be intentional about it. It is just something that happens. And so I learned that when I'm able to separate myself, and I can be in a room full of people, but when I disengage, that's me filling up my tank again. And me standing firm in that, because sometimes I would have people trying to push me to, oh, you're not talking, you're not this. Well, that's not me. So learning to be 100% comfortable in the skin that I'm in every capacity of it, but also making sure that I'm not using it as excuses. I'm not using it to hide or shield myself from things, but me just understanding, this is who I am. This is how I function. This is how others can get the best out of me. So um, learning that within the last 2 years has been an extreme help. And with everything, there's a strong component to be accountable. And I remember I was having this conversation with a friend, and her response was, I don't know why you're tripping. They do this to you every time. Like, there's a pattern that they have, and they do this. And I had to pause, and I instantly, I'm like, "You are right." And I said, "You know what? I'm the problem. I'm the problem, because people continue to show me who they are, and I keep interacting with them thinking or acting as if they have shown me that they've changed, or they don't have those same habits." So I had to be accountable for that. Like, I'm putting my own self through this. So it's not always easy, but sometimes you have to let it go. And it may be other people that are attached that you have to let go if you remove yourself from a certain person or a certain thing. It's just life. It's just life. And again, when you are doing it from a place of um not trying to run, not trying to shield, because there's a lot of people that kind of confuse boundaries. Boundaries don't mean avoidance. Like, you, for me, okay, I could put up a healthy boundary and still have interactions with a person, but it's going to stop at that boundary. It doesn't mean I'm going to close myself off and not deal with the hurt, pain, frustration, whatever I have about the person and or the situation. That's not healthy. You still have to deal with your stuff. And so Again, starting off this 5-part series talking about the whole woman, it is so important for us to remember ourselves. Um, for us to, I don't care what we have on our plate, to not minimize the time and the care that you need for yourself. It is necessary that we get in the habit, so that it's not even a habit. This is just our way of living. This is our way of living. And it can be very something, we people can have people have access to us 24/7 unless you're off the grid or something. And there was a season I would get frustrated. I got mad like when people would text all times of the day. But this is the culture that we live in. And I was like, man, I miss the 90s where you have to actually call a home phone, but so that means you have to wait for somebody to be there, or you had a beeper, a pager, where somebody, paid you and you call them back at your convenience, because sometimes it's just overwhelming. Sometimes we're not aware of how much time that we are giving to other things and other people. And it's the time that we need for ourselves. It's the time that we need to discover, who we are in a new season. It's the time that we need to just regroup. It's the time that we need to focus on an assignment that God has called us to, or what we're actually working on in that season. So, um, it's important for us to make this our norm. It's important for this to be our norm, and for it, even if people don't get it, but for it to be respected. You may have people that be like, oh, okay, she tripping, or she's higher than. Okay, think whatever you want to think. What I said is still what it is. And so for us to just really stand our ground in that, and I would say, I guess now I would be considered a middle-aged woman. For the younger woman, um, I'm gonna say it how it's in my head. Be selfish. Be selfish with your time. Be selfish with the plan that you have and the goals that you have for your life. Do what you need to do, because the main thing we cannot get back in this life is time. Do it while you have the time. Do it while you have the time, and while you're in that space of having the energy. You may have a lot of responsibilities in one capacity, but you don't have the ladder that come with it as you get older. So that would be my advice to you. Do and try everything you have a desire to while you have the time to do it. Don't put everything out. Don't try to think 10 and 20 years from now. Am I saying don't think about your future? Absolutely not. What I am saying is, don't be consumed by something that's 5, 10, 15, 20 years away. Focus on what you are doing now that's aligning to the place that you have a desire to be in the future. That's what I'm saying. And so, um, oftentimes we don't get that. I remember somebody joked with me a few years back, because I said something about taking a nap. And they're like, your kids still take naps at this age? I said, listen, whether they take a nap or not, the rule is everybody go to your own spot for at least 2 hours. I don't care if you're doing jumping jacks in your room, hanging off the side of your bed. I don't care what you're doing, but do not interact with another person in this household for the next 2 hours, so we can all reset, so everybody can have their alone time. It is not mandatory to always have to um, be in performance mode. You know what I mean? Everybody does not operate the same. Some people love to be around a lot of people. Some people, again, like I said, we need to separate for a minute and then join the party. Some people, it can be give or take. But I do believe in every person having their own time to do what they want to do what they need to do, and it be okay. And so my thought is, if this is embedded in you now, then you will understand the value of, no, I have a right to have my own time. So, um, no, for myself, which it may be you too. A lot of things we end up undoing because we just started off doing it because that's what we thought or that's what we came up with at that moment. But then we realize it is not good. It is not healthy. It is not okay. It is not beneficial. And so, with that being said, again, we're talking about the whole woman, and so in today's focus is just you as a woman, not the titles, not the responsibilities, just you as a woman. What do you like? What's your favorite color? Has it changed? Um, where do you see yourself in the next 2 years? Just you personally, not your family, not your career, but like what do you want for yourself? What has God shown you that is for you? And if we don't do what's necessary or required, um, we miss out on a lot. Who wants to wake up and exert all their time, effort, and energy to everything outside of them? And at the end of the day, you try to give yourself those 1 to 3 hours before you go to sleep just for yourself. Who wants to do that? That's not, to me, that's not thriving. That's just existing. And I'm sharing for myself that those are things that I was just doing. Oh, it's okay. Um, I could do this later, or um, being uncomfortable because you didn't see nobody doing it as you was growing up. Like, oh, I can't do that. Feeling guilty. Majority of the time, and I see the videos, it shows a mom is showing how well dressed the kids are, what they're able to do, and they turn the camera to themselves, and we just we just there, okay? And I get that, and I love that, because I rather you be selfless and take care of your kid versus the ones that don't. But at the same time, every single day we should be giving ourselves something that we need. We should be accomplishing. And when I say a goal, goals are not always big, and goals are not always external. What do I want to do for myself? When was the last time I sat down and read a book? Let me take myself on a date. Let me venture off. Let me start this new hobby that I've been looking at. Let me look it up. Let me go try it. All of the things that we need to help refuel ourselves, to help us feel um, purpose, that helps us connect back to the calling of purpose that is on our lives. And so, a lot of work is required, and a lot of honesty is required, and a lot of accountability is required. And um, how we talk to ourselves, and whether it's not verbally out of your mouth, but the thoughts that come. And so, one of the things I am being intentional about, in general, I want to, it's not like I make a lot of junk food, I barely fry food and all the things, but I just do have a desire um, to eat healthy. Now, uh, it don't mean, salads 24/7 and all, but just preparing things properly. And that's just a personal thing that I have. And so, um, the ultimate goal, it connects to a lot, right? If you're eating healthier, that impacts your health, and a number of other things. But I had to start giving myself credit for starting, for the day. Like, okay, you probably didn't do everything, but the fact that you started, the fact that you attempted, the fact that you did prepare this meal, or you did go purchase the ingredients, just being mindful of how I'm judging and talking to myself. And again, not just giving myself credit for the end goal, but giving myself credit for all the action steps that it take before that, the actual thing manifests. So, or happens. And so, um, that's something that, you know, put in your back pocket, just as women, put in your back pocket, because there's always going to be something for us to do. It's always going to be something for us to do. You're never going to have to really sit there and twiddle your thumbs like, oh, what can I do? What can I do? And if you do have time like that where you're twiddling your thumbs because you just don't know what to do, we done lost something somewhere. Because I was reading this actually a second ago. Um it's Matthew chapter 6, starting at verse Matthew 6, starting at verse 25. And this scripture, it helps me talk myself not off the ledge, but just talk myself backwards, like down. Like when you're like, oh, I didn't do this, starting to feel overwhelmed or worried about things. And it says, therefore, I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, what you would drink, nor about your body, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, in the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not of more value than they? Which of you, by worrying, can add 1 cubit to this stature? And I'm gonna just go down to 34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about its own things. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Like, just going back to that, like, let me walk myself back. Okay. Let me just focus on today. Okay. What are my responsibilities today? What am I going to do today? Because it's enough. Okay. Today is a lot. Let me not even think about what I have to do in 2 days, or let me not do it. So this scripture helps me to just bring it back in, and it takes work, especially when you're not trained to do that. So I'm not telling you, oh, it's not gimmicks. It's things you have to be intentional about, mindful about, and you have to work for them. You have to work for them for it to become a new habit, for it to become the way that you live. And so, um get your notebook or your phone, or even disengage. I have to do that because the scrolling, I feel like, is a lot. But that's for me, not for you. Get your phone, get one of your notepads, or if you're trying to transition, like I said, maybe go back to reading books, journaling, whatever it is, and write. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be expensive. Write 5 to 10 things down that you've been wanting to do, you've been wanting to get back to, you've been wanting to try, things that you've been wanting to no longer do. Like, write this out, like, because oftentimes we think it up here, we never write it down, so we don't see it. It's not there where we can hold ourselves accountable. It's not there where we can remember. And so do that. Get to know yourself all over again, because it's one thing to say who who I was. I'm not who I was in my 20s, but being a woman and being around a lot of women that don't talk about just the cycles of life and changing, and now I'm sitting here like, ain't nobody told me nothing. Like, why I gotta figure this out in real time? You know what I mean? And so, um, just remember yourself in every capacity. That those scriptures right there, it helps me to bring it in, to draw it in, especially those of us. it takes our mind a long time to shut down. We could be laying in the bed at 9 o'clock and the brain ain't shutting down to midnight. So do something nice for yourself because you deserve it. But more importantly, it's necessary. It is necessary for us to take care of ourselves in these capacities. And oftentimes they get overlooked unless, it's just a conversation amongst friends. It is important um, for us to do that. And so, um, another thing, just as being a woman, um, no is a complete sentence. But in addition to no being a complete sentence, it is okay to um, for lack of a better word, right now I'm gonna use redefine. That's not the word I want to hold on to. Your relationships with people. Now, if you have not realized, life has a lot of different seasons, okay? And you may not, in one season, you may have been able to talk to your bestie, you know, every other day. Y'all meet up, every other week. And then, now you're in a season of life, y'all text the best y'all can. Y'all really have to schedule time to see one another. But um, the more that I study the Word of God, spend time on my own devotions and things like that, all of these things matter, but oftentimes we have them out of order regarding the priority. We have them out of order regarding the priority. So look at some relationships that you have, if they need to be redefined, or again, that's not the word I'm trying to hold on to. Just if you need to review them to see if they are prioritized the way that they should, if you are still connected to people and things that you actually shouldn't be, um, just go ahead and do what's necessary. At the end, for myself, it's about preservation. And not that I don't, to know means to know, I love the people, you know. But life has taught me in the season that I'm in, it's great for you to love the people, but if your life is not in order or not flowing the way that God needs it to, love the people, but get your stuff how it needs to be, because you're the priority. You are the priority. You are a priority. And oftentimes you are the priority. Because if you're not well, if you don't have things together, all the things, the people, the responsibilities that you have, they fall. So we're the priority. Okay? Say that with me. We are the priority. We're the priority. And um the reading plan of cultivating um community and connection is so important. It's so important. Um, Connection is healing. Some of us do not have. We may be in community but lack connection, and oftentimes we have to get out of our comfort zones. Oftentimes we need to, like I said, once you do that self assessment, once you look at your list and how you have things prioritized, um, you know, I got extra time and I appreciate that. And then also looking at the weight that we carry. So mid late last year, um, I had a health scare, and I'm glad I did, because that brought awareness to how off balance my care and willingness to um, shift and show up and do things for people outside of me quicker than I was processing to understand how I really felt, what I was really thinking, um, almost cost me. It almost cost me. And so, with that being said, one of the things that I realize is um, the things that I was facing and going through, I was aware, like, okay, this is happening. Okay, we just gotta, move differently. This is a different situation. But I didn't give myself the time that I needed to fully process, to ask questions, to bring it to God with clarity. And so I was holding on to a lot of things, which was stress on a whole different level, and my body could no longer carry it. So had I not had the health scare, that would have been a new thing of, oh, this is just new, this is just what you do. And so it brought attention, it brought awareness, um, more intentionality, because I do my best to be intentional. But it was an eye opener that I did not do that, and it's necessary for me to do that. And so if you're used to giving people the benefit of the doubt, if you're um, used to forgiving because you don't hold on to grudges and things like that, just be mindful. You can forgive, but if you have not processed that thing out, there's residue that's lingering and it's going to show up, and affect something, um, or impact something in a negative way. So that was something that um, I learned and am learning, um, for myself, which is the reason now I stand firm in no, can't make it. As much as I want to, wisdom says it don't make sense for you to be driving 6 freeways and on the road for almost 3 hours to go from point A to point B for 5 minutes. Now, when it's something that is something, I have no problem with that. But just to you can't. It's a no. And it's a no, what you know what? I would love to be there. I'm not going to be able to, but I'll send you something. So just standing firm and doing what works, not just for the other person or the situation as a whole, but remembering to include ourselves in what works and how it needs to flow, because we matter. We matter. We matter. We are a priority. We are the priority. Okay. We are the priority. So I challenge you to write your list of things that you've been wanting to do, try, stop, whatever the case may be. I challenge you to start off um, doing those things, to make it visual so you don't forget. Bless me. So these are just some practical everyday life things that as the woman that I am, the woman that I'm growing into, um, I'm learning. And at the same time, I want to intentionally teach my daughter, and just by her watching, because we learn a lot just by watching, folks, um, that she doesn't have to overexert herself like that, that she can say no, that she doesn't always have to be the one calling. Um, so just those different things. Um, that that's why I'm doing it for myself, and to break the cycle of the world's version of us being strong. Cause I don't have to try to be Incredible Hulk. Okay. I'm gonna sit in my womanness. Yes, I just make that up. I'm gonna sit in that and do what I need to do and navigate the things without um without taxing myself. Without taxing myself. So um that's just some things that I wanted to start off with, just sharing, just having conversation, just having conversation, because it's needed and it's necessary. And before we talk about anything else having to do with women, we have to talk about ourselves, because it is important for us to experience, to have joy. It is important for us to be happy. It is important for us to feel seen. It is important for us to be seen, and to be heard, and for us to be able to identify the things that we don't like, the things that we need to change, the things that we want to change, not just for the sake of following the trend or whatever, but really realizing, like, hey, I really don't like that, or that doesn't serve me, or when I do that, that actually brings more chaos, confusion, pain, frustration, whatever it may be. And we have the right, as long as there is breath in our body, we have the ability to create change, to move forward. Um, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. So, who am I? I'm shy. I love to laugh. Okay. I'm quick witted with the mouth. Okay. They just pops off. Okay. Being in Christ, I don't pop off like I used to. I'll pop off in a different way, but still quick with it. Um, I love, like I said, my alone time to reset. You get me by water, baby, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. That resets my whole system. I love that. Um, I acknowledge that I have been a people pleaser, but no longer. And I want to say, though, it's not that I am changing who I am, but it's how I do things, because God equips us with what we need for the assignment He gives us. But if you're off track, or you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, or how, like, this gift that truly is a gift, it can be misused. Your gift can be you can be manipulated for your gift. Oftentimes people see you and who you are and how gifted you are before oftentimes we see ourselves. So um I just want to be clear, I'm not changing, but I just realized some stuff, and I'm navigating it differently. Okay. Putting some boundaries in there, and also realizing that a lot of that stuff I was doing, it was hard and taxing. And I just thought, well, this is how you show up. This is how you, but if you have a community that knows that's how you show up, and when you don't show up, they have to respect that you needed that rest or whatever it may be. And even if they don't respect it, who cares? We got to do what's best for us. We have to do what's best for us, because we let everybody else do what's best for them. Shoot. So, um, uh, I got out of the habit of doing certain things, and I'm gonna get back into the habit of doing them. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. The whole woman. Who are we? The good side, the bad side, the indifferent side, the shy side, the side. Um, how are you as a daughter? What does that look like? What does it look like being a mother? Those are some other things we'll be talking about in this 5-part series. I definitely want your feedback in the comments, even if you send me a message after the fact. But please share your thoughts because we need this. Like I said, it's one thing to have community, but if there's no connection, like you ever been in a room with like 20 people there and you're like, I'm just here. Like it's okay. I could be somewhere else. Like there's no connection to the thing. We're just doing stuff just to be doing it. And that's not what I want to continue to do. So um I hope you learned a little bit more about me. Just us as being women, the importance of taking care of ourselves, inwardly and outwardly, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, all the things. And I encourage you to listen to uh, the still voice that you've been hearing and the prayers that are being answered. It may not be in the way we want them to be answered, but they are being answered, and it's all for our good. So I encourage you to uh, get in position to make the thing happen that you have a desire to make happen, to follow uh, the path that God has placed in front of you, to follow his instructions. Another thing, it didn't just start this year, it's been just my desire to lock in with God through devotion, prayer time, being a part of prayer groups and things like that, just to really lock in and to grow. And um, the more we do that, the more we learn, the more he shows us, the more that is revealed. So don't put it on the back burner. Like I said, if you want to be a part of the uh, reading the Bible together, the Bible plan, you can definitely sign up to do that. Just go on the website, put in, tap on the image, and join us inside of the Bible app. Okay, cultivating community and connection within the Healing for Her ministry, and also getting back to some virtual things. Cry Out will be virtual this year, so I'm excited about that. I don't have a limit on it. Last year I did because of the space, and so if we packed out a room, we can definitely pack out a Zoom room. So I encourage you to join and also visit the website to learn more about the Blossom Effect as well as the Blossom Collective. I'm super excited about that because I've seen so many of us um, get off track or stop or give up or take a break longer than we expected because we just don't have the support or guidance that we need to nurture the thing that God has put inside of us. And so that's what the Blossom Effect is, and the Blossom Collective, which is for women that are in ministry and the woman that is emerging to start a ministry. You can go to the website to learn more. I pray this has been a blessing to you. Continue to pray for me as I pray for you. And this has been part 1 of our 5-part series, The Whole Woman. Share this video, like, comment, and meet me back here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great one.